Hi, welcome back to Databases Made Easy. In this video, we're going to start to get our hands dirty. Actually, when I say we, I mean you. You're going to get your hands dirty because I've already done this. I've now got to wait for you to catch up so we can start building some databases. So what you're going to do is you're going to download and install Microsoft SQL Server and Microsoft SSMS, which is SQL Server Management Studio. Got it? All right, it's pretty simple. Step one, go to your search engine or your favorite search engine, type in Microsoft SQL Server download. It should take you to this page right here, okay? SQL Server downloads. When you get to this page, you've got a choice. You can either install SQL Server in Azure on the cloud, or you can do it on premises, okay? For the sake of this demonstration, for this exercise, for this course, go on premises. In terms of a premise, then you've got different versions: developer, express, standard, professional, enterprise. Okay. To keep it free, we're going to go with developer or express. Developer, as it says here, is fully featured, but you cannot use it for anything other than development or testing. So you can't use it for a database that you're then going to go and make money on. Express, on the other hand, you can use for that, but it's got limitations. Limited by the size, and also limited in terms of it doesn't have all the features such as SQL Agent, which we're not going to use in this course anyway. Okay, so what I want you to do is to go click this button here, download, okay, and install it. Watch the progress bars, okay, and then just go next, watch the progress bars, install it, and then at one particular stage, once you've installed it, this screen will pop up, okay, saying installation has completed successfully. What I want you to do then is to click this button here, okay, which is going to copy the connection string to the clipboard, save that in Notepad or somewhere, because you might need to refer back to that later, okay? Once you've done that, click this button down the bottom here, install SSMS. That will take you to the page where you install Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio. Okay, that's kind of like the door that takes you into the databases. Okay, and I'll explain more once we get to it. Now, when you get to this page, you may think, oh, I'm going to click that big blue button. Don't. Okay, that takes you back to the previous page where you download SQL Server. What you want to do is go here. It says download SSMS and download the latest version of SSMS. Okay, so once again, download SQL Server, then download SSMS. I'm going to go get a drink. I'm going to come back, and then we'll start looking at Microsoft SQL Server via SSMS. See you in a minute. All right, how'd you go? Does your screen look something like mine? I hope so, because if you did, well done. You made it this far. Let's now connect to SQL Server via SSMS. First thing we're going to do is to configure our connection string. So if you remember in the previous section, I asked you to save the connection string once you did the SQL Server installation. And part of that, you'll see here we have a server, localhost / SQL Express. Now this is the bit that can change if you were installing a second, third, or fourth instance of SQL Server. Assuming that you just did your first one, then all you need is this, and it should probably already be predefined for you here under server name. Okay. In terms of authentication, you got Windows authentication, SQL Server authentication, and these other ones more for Azure. I could put an entire course on Windows authentication and SQL Server authentication and how it all ties in with Windows and other forms of security. To keep it simple though, because this is not part of this course, just leave it at Windows authentication and click connect, and it should connect just like that. Okay. So welcome to SSMS. On our left-hand side here, we have, as you can see, the Object Explorer. This kind of just gives you an overview of what's on the particular instance. If you were to connect to another instance, say to Azure or a different on-premise SQL Server, you would just have them all listed here as sections inside this Object Explorer. Okay, so you got instance. Inside instance, you have databases. So at the moment, we don't have any databases. We also have our security. So like I kind of touched on before, you had your Windows authentication, your SQL Server authentication. Again, we're just going to leave those as is, and then we get into other objects. If you install Developer Edition, you would see probably a few other options here as well. Okay, so if you want to have a little bit of a play around, click around a little bit, you can change your fonts, change colors, things like that. Yeah, and in the next video, we'll actually start creating our first database. I'll see you there.